Hey everybody, this is Patty Davis with Crooked Tree Creations. I'm so excited to show you how to make this beautiful rainbow dahlia wreath. Let's get started. Okay, for the supplies, the best thing to have for this wreath, you should have a cutting mat. That way you can gauge how many inches you're going to be cutting your mesh. You need a glass cutting board. When you cut your mesh, you're going to be using a wood burning tool. Okay, I have this wood burning tool here. You can see this chisel tip. And we are going to cut our mesh, and we need this glass cutting board in order to, so you don't burn your cutting mat. Okay. You are also going to need, I'm using a 14-inch wire form that I got from the Dollar Tree. You can make smaller ones. I don't think it would work for this rainbow dahlia that we're doing. But if you're going to do any other kind of dahlia, you can go to a 12-inch or 10-inch. I'm not sure. I've never done it on an 8-inch. I'm not sure if it would work, and you'll understand why once we get through the whole process, okay? But this is a 14-inch form from the Dollar Tree. I use plastic canvas that I got at Joann Fabrics. I believe you can get it at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. It's in your yarn section. There are two different sizes. There's a 5 mesh and a 7 mesh. This one is a 5 mesh. It goes by how many of these little holes are in 1 inch. So this only has 5 holes per inch. So that means the holes are bigger. So if you want bigger holes, go with the smaller number. So let's talk zip ties. Today I'm going to be using a 6-inch zip tie that I found on Amazon that is 18 pounds. For comparison, I have this bag of 8-inch zip ties that I got from Walmart but are 75 pounds, which is much thicker, and although it will work, will be much tougher to use than the 18 pounds. You can find 8-inch zip ties that are also 18 pounds, which will be even easier to use, but for today I'm using the 6-inch zip ties. I'm going to leave a link for both in my in the description here, so you can decide which one you want to use. Okay, you're going to need wire cutters to cut our zip ties. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need a Sharpie or some kind of marker. And when you cut your mesh, you're going to need a mask. And let's admit it, we all have them. Okay, talking about what we're going to use. You need poly burlap. This is in white. You're going to need 3 rolls of this because we're going to be using 2.5. So we got this. We are going to use red, orange, yellow, emerald green, blue, and purple. Depending on which way you want to do this. If you want the purple in the middle and the red on the outside, you will be using 18 cuts of the red, orange, and yellow, 12 of the emerald green, 8 of the blue, and 5 of the purple. If you want that to be reversed, you will have 18 cuts of the purple, blue, and the emerald green, 12 of the yellow, 8 of the orange, and 5 of the red. All of these are going to be fused with the white poly burlap, and I will be showing that to you in just a little bit.
So before you go any further, if you wish to put felt on the back of your wreath, now is the time to trace out the form onto your felt, unless you have another form the same size. I like to attach my felt to the second ring from the outside, so I'm going to use my marker to trace just outside that second ring and then cut it out. After you're done cutting it out, I like to make a small dot right along each crossbar. This is where I'm going to put my zip ties to attach the felt. I use the crossbars as a guide, just so that they're evenly spaced.
Okay, now to prepare our form, we need to put this plastic canvas into the center of this 14-inch wreath form. In that, but I just want to draw a little circle. Okay, and then cut this out, and we're going to attach it using the 4-inch zip ties. Okay, I'm showing you how I attach this to the form. Really, all I am doing, I already put one in each section. This is my last section. I'm just going to put one in here. Okay, and I kept them all loose, just in case, like if it was a little shorter, or if this plastic canvas was cut a little short, we wouldn't have too much of a problem. So now I am going to tighten them all, make sure they fit on here good. Okay. And then I use my wire cutters to cut these zip ties off. And that is where we are to prepare our form. I also, it's just something I like to do, I like to use this plastic canvas as a grid so I can judge exactly where the center is, things like that. A good thing to do is to actually take another smaller ring form. Let me grab my 10-inch. Okay. And what I'm going to do, if you can kind of tell this, the outside of the 10-inch is just about the same as the inside of this 14-inch. And I will explain it later on, but I'm going to count how many holes from here to where I'm going to want my one of my rows to be in, going in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, which is right at the outside of this here. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw a circle so I know kind of where I'm going to want that to be. And then I'm also going to draw kind of like a little pinpoint of where my center is in this wreath, and it's just about right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, just so that as I am coming in with all of these petals, which you will see here later on, I have basically, I know where the center is, and I can keep making sure I know exactly what I am aiming for the center. Okay, it just kind of helps. Okay, I'm going to cut the mesh. I'm going to do this, show you in the red, covering the poly burlap. When I'm cutting this, for this particular wreath, I am going to have the red on the outside of the petal. So we want to have the poly burlap down first and then the poly deco mesh on top. And you will see the poly deco mesh is just maybe slightly wider than the poly burlap, which I think works to our advantage. So when you cut, again, make sure you wear a mask. We want to stay within the lines of the poly burlap, and we can see straight through this deco mesh, so we have no problem staying within those lines. The reason you want to stay with those lines is it will cut down on the frame. So let me show you right here. In order to start this fusion, we need to cut, again, staying with the poly burlap, staying within those lines. Okay. Gonna kind of take these off. Okay. And if you get little stragglers like that, that's all you got to do. And see how they fuse together. Now, I learned this from Julie's Wreath Boutique. I think she stumbled upon it, but it's her method, and I think it's absolutely brilliant to be able to do this. So I give her 100% credit, and I will even put her link in here so you can see some of the other things that she does. Okay, to her YouTube channel. I've learned so much from her. But anyhow, okay, what we want to do, we want to cut 10-inch strips. So I'm going to my 0 and to my 10-inch mark. And for me, there's 10 inches is right here, and it's right on the line. So I'm going to go just a little bit shorter. That way I can ensure that I have enough pieces to do this. Because sometimes you will be like one piece short if you're doing like 2 wreaths, because with the colored mesh, you're only going to be using a half a roll for each of these. So, but see how it fuses together? Like that. Okay. Nice and easy. I love this. I think it's so brilliant, and I think it's beautiful. And the color combinations that we can do, you don't have to use just white with some other color. You can use so many other colors. It's fantastic. So again, I am going within the lines of the poly burlap. And obviously we're not going to be able to stay within the lines of both the poly burlap and the poly deco mesh. So we just want to at least stay within the lines of the poly burlap. And the heat fuses these together, and then we have the pieces we want to work with. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I make the petal. And I think this is what most everybody wants to learn, how I make this petal. So you can see I got the purple was cut on the outside. This is on the inside. See how it rolls towards me? I personally like to have it rolling towards me. Take the top left, bottom right, and kind of move it this way. I will roll this kind of just enough where you can stick your finger in there, okay? Kind of roll it this way. Same thing with this, roll it this way. Leave about maybe 3 inches and then squeeze it together. You will see how this has like a little bit of it comes up like right there in the middle. Just a little bit. But it has that curve, a nice cup. So we will bring this together. See how that looks? It almost has like a tulip shape in a way. Okay. Now we have to attach it to the form. And of course, I didn't put any zip ties in here. Okay, I already made this petal and I did not put the zip tie in, so excuse me. You should always put your zip tie in first. I'm going to start on this 3rd ring. Never use this outside ring. I will tell you right now, if you try it on the outside ring, everything flops around to the back. There's nothing to keep it secure there. So start on this 3rd ring. Okay, just place the zip tie in there. We will take this petal and we're going to secure it this way. Now, we got to make sure that these are fairly even, okay, before we secure it down good. Okay. Now, see how it kind of flops out to the sides? We are going to need to use another zip tie. Okay, I'm going to take another zip tie. I'm going to squeeze these together. Take another zip tie. And see how we got these together like that? There you go. And then just use your wire cutters to snip that off. And what I'm going to do 3 in each section of this purple. I'm going to do 3 in each section of the blue and 3 in each section of the green. And I will explain to you how we do this with the plastic canvas attached, because these we can move back and forth if we have to. Once you get them here with the plastic canvas, there is no moving it. So, but I'm going to keep going with these, and I'm going to keep making petals and attaching them. Again, try to remember to put your zip tie in first, then make your petal. It makes it so much easier. But of course, you know, I'm concentrating on what I want to explain to you, and I'm not concentrating on what I'm really doing. So yes, put your zip tie in first, make the petal, and then attach it. And right now I'm using these 8-inch that are a little on the thicker side. They're not, they don't fit in that plastic canvas as well. So I'm using them on the outside so that I don't have too much trouble when I get to the plastic canvas. When I get to the plastic canvas, I'll make sure I use my 6-inch that is much easier to fit through those holes. And if, like this started sliding down, just pull it back up before you get it fully secured. And you don't, when you do this around the petal, you don't necessarily have to do it super, super tight. Just tight enough that it's not going to slide anywhere. But you definitely want to make sure this is good and tight. When I have this row done, I will come back and show you with the blue. The same, it's going to be the same thing, but it's going to go on the third rung. Okay, I got this first row done on this second ring, and I'm going to go on ahead to doing the blue in this second row, which is on the third ring. Again, I'm going to do 3 in each section. You will see that these will flop forward. Okay, it will. The more you put on here, as we go into the center, it kind of pushes everything back and they all stay down. So don't think you're doing anything wrong. They will flop. Okay, but just keep it flat and it will be good. Okay. Okay, now I'm done with the blue row. You can see what I did where we had the purple. I kind of just went kind of in between and just kind of laid it down in between that, yeah, in between the purple ones. And what is a complete shame, you really can't even see much of that purple sticking out, but from this side you can definitely see the purple, and so it's definitely worth using it. But that's what we got with our second row. Now with this, where we're going to do the green, and it's going to be attached to the plastic canvas. I'm going to get my 6-inch zip ties. So the 6-inch zip tie will fit so much better than the 8-inch, just because the width of, I guess, I don't know, call it the girth of the zip tie is thinner. So I'm going to try to go again where the purple was. So we're in between these blue ones, okay? So kind of just stick it partially through that plastic canvas and come out on the other side of that 4th ring. And that's where I want to start. Okay, I'll push this aside and show you when I make, as I'm going further in the wreath, I'm not going to leave as much of a gap to squeeze. I'm going to kind of go almost completely together, but make sure you have the rolls like a good size. And then attach it. Again, make sure they're fairly even before you fully secure it. Okay? And then do another one around. And if you have accidentally, like I did, if you accidentally have thicker zip ties, those thick zip ties don't go through that plastic canvas very well. I mean, they will work, but it's just a lot easier if the girth of the zip tie is much smaller. Okay, so that's how you do the green. I'm going to keep going around through, and I'll meet you here at the end of this the 3rd row on the 4th ring. Okay? Okay, now we got our 3rd row done on that fourth ring and with partial plastic canvas. And you can see that the back petals are pushing the ones towards the middle up. So that's where we're starting to see how they're going to stand up. Okay, and we're starting to actually really look like a dahlia. I think this is beautiful. Okay, so remember I made that circle here. I'd like to do is find the actual, see where it goes, the plastic canvas grid goes straight across. I like to count up 6 squares. What I'll do is actually go up to the 8th square, skip 1, okay, and then come back up here in the 6th square. Okay, but that's where I'm going to be starting to do the yellow, and I'm just going to try to keep that at 2 per section, so we're going to have 12 all together. Okay, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, I'm done with the yellow, which is our 4th row. I was just thinking too, you can use this cutting mat grid to kind of let you know where you are from the center. That also helps. So I am going to be doing now 8 of the orange, and I'm going to use the plastic canvas. You can see where it has the straight lines. Okay, I'm going to do 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, then 1 in between each one. Okay, so there you go. I will come back to you whenever I have the orange done. Okay, we're on the home stretch. All I have left to do is the red, and you can see how much room I have. There's not a whole heck of a lot of room, but I think what I'm going to do is just do 4 and then 1 in the center, so we'll have 5 all together. Okay, and whenever I attach the petals, I'm just going to attach them. I am not going to do this second zip tie, just because there'll be too much messing around in there, and I don't want anything to fray, because I mean, if you play with the petals too much, they'll fray. So we're going to try to keep from doing that. I'm just going to go ahead and attach them to the plastic canvas, and I'm not going to use that second zip tie. Okay, I will see you back here whenever I'm done, and I'll show you from the back what it looks like. Okay, we're done here. Now you can kind of see where we got the zip tie in there. You want to kind of move this stuff around, okay? And you know what, that last petal, go ahead and let them face each other. That way, that's the center, okay? And then just move things around and just make sure they're where you want them to be, okay? And make sure you don't see the zip ties. Make sure you don't see the plastic canvas from the sides or anything like that. If there's any, like right here, we got a little bit of this wanting to fray. Go ahead and cut that, okay? You're going to see stuff like that throughout. It's going to happen. The wood burning tool helps cut down. It doesn't completely stop the fraying, but it definitely cuts down. But if there are any frays, just go ahead and cut those off. Now I'm going to show you the back. You can see how I did the red. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the center. Okay. So this actually doesn't look too bad the way it is, but we're going to go ahead and attach some felt. I'm using white. Use whatever color you want, but we're going to attach the felt with 6-inch zip ties to this third ring. That way we leave this outer ring available to hang. Okay, so I'll be back with the felt. Okay, you remember that piece of felt that we cut out? Okay, and we made little holes right where the bar would be. Now we're not going to attach them to the bar, although we really could. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to kind of do it this way just to make sure that I just wanted to keep them at an even distance from each other. But I'm going to move that around to the back so nobody sees the marks that we made. Okay, now we get out our 4-inch zip ties, and all we do is attach them to the ring. Just like so. And then once you get them tight, clip it off. Okay? Okay, I have this all attached. Now you can see, yes, people can still see the outside row. That's fine. I mean, and it's not like it looked horrible to begin with, but I just like to have this felt on here just in case it's up against a window or, you know, something where people would be able to see the back. Okay, and there's still this top ring where it'll make it nice and easy for them to still hang it. But this is it. This is what we got, and I hope you enjoyed seeing this. I hope you understood everything the best that I possibly could show you. And again, you know, mess around with it. Make sure nobody can see the zip ties, the plastic canvas, or anything. Then it's just, you know, absolutely perfect this way. Okay? Well, thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Patty Davis. My business name is Crooked Tree Creations, Rustic Wreaths with an Elegant Twist. And follow me. If you have any questions, I definitely would love to help you out with anything you have, okay? I'll see you later, and have a great day. Bye. Okay, for those of you who want to know how many petals to use on other wreath forms, I will show you. This was done on a 10-inch. Okay, I did three in each section. There's 5 sections, so that's 15. Another 3 in each section. Again, that would be 15. Then I did 2 in each section, right on that 4th ring, so that would be 10 more. Then I did 8 and 3. Okay, so altogether that would be 51 petals. But I also have another one here that I did on a 12-inch form. Okay, let me show you on the back of this. Again, I only used regular the poly burlap on that first on the first row. Then I did 3 of each, and this one is 6 sections, just like the 14. I did 3 and another 3. Okay, so that'd be 18 plus 18, so that's 36. I did 2 on that fourth rung. Okay, so that would be another 12. So that makes 48. Yes, I'm adding as I'm going. Okay, then we did 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we did 8 there. Okay, so that's 56. Then we did 6 more. So that's 62 plus 3. 65 pieces of mesh need to be cut for a 12-inch. Okay, and I don't know if you were counting, but that 14-inch came to 79 cuts. Okay, I did not do this on an 8-inch form simply because I think the 8-inch might be a tad bit too small. I don't think there would be enough room to kind of get the petals to push back. I might try it one of these days and see if it works. If it does work, I'll let you know. If you do it, let me know how it works. I would love to see it. Okay? But that's about it.